But yeah, man, it's been weird times, man. Weird times.
It is very weird. And also, too, when you're traveling just in general,
Yeah.
without anything going on, traveling does wear you out and will get you sick at some point.
Yeah, like it's literally
just
like
in general. So
like to me, like the past 2-3 years, we've been on the road a lot
who's we?
With grandson.
Yeah, they
With
don't know.
grandson. Yeah, like yeah. The past 3 years, we've been on the road a lot.
Yeah,
And it's weird, like every single time that you go to a tour bus with like a new, like a 10 guys, crew members or whatever, as soon as one gets sick,
you're all
we
sick.
knows
Yeah,
who's
you're
gonna
all
be
done.
next, who's
You're
gonna be
all
next,
done.
who's gonna be next.
Yeah.
So it's always all the tours, if you go out, if you are out like for a month and a half or a month, that you're gonna be sick for a few days because of that.
Yeah, dude, you know what the worst is with that? Do you ever have this when you get sick on the road or doing shows? And it's the weirdest thing. Like, okay, so like you get sick and you're like, there's no way I can do this. Let's say, depending on how bad it is, you don't feel good. You don't, whatever. You're like, I don't want to play the show. I don't want to do my thing. And then when the thing comes up, your adrenaline kicks in.
Yeah.
And for that 45 minutes to an hour, it's almost like you're not sick anymore. Do you have that same feeling?
I had it, and I have like a thing that's like funny because we all got like those this bug that hit us our stomach, and we were throwing up like.
Whoa! Y'all got the bug.
Yeah, we got it. Like we were in Canada. It was like I think it was last year. It was January, February. Canada is cold. It was. We were like, we all got it, and we were doing the biggest. We were doing. It was in the No Apologize tour. Yes, the first one that we did, and we started in Canada. We did a run over there, and the last show with Toronto was the biggest show of that Canada part.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
We had like a crew of cameras, like we record that.
Oh, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
Right.
Everybody except Jordan, Renzo, one of the photographer, Jonathan, and me. We were the only one that we didn't get sick.
Wow.
And we're talking about David, our drummer, got pretty bad.
Wow.
That night.
That on that day he was
like literally like 2-3 hours before the show. Our tour manager was like already in the hotel room, like passing out. Like part of our crew, they were like the same in the hotel. It was like a nightmare. It was
right.
And we have to like the guys from we were doing that time. The guys from a band called Blue Stones.
Blue Stones?
No. God damn it! You're gonna have to tape. You're gonna have to cut that shit out.
It's okay if you mess it up. Don't worry about it. It's hard to remember everything.
Well, you're gonna whatever. So
we'll figure it out. Watch.
Yeah,
if they watch this,
I love that.
If they
help us out so much.
If they eventually see this, they're like, "You motherfucker! Like you forgot our name."
Blue Stones.
Blue Stones.
No.
The Blue Stones.
God damn. Whatever. Sorry. But whatever. But I basically
watch.
Was like,
it'll come to you in like 10 minutes, and you'll blurt it out. Or on the drive on the drive home, you'll.
We
figure
had to
it
do
out.
that show like David was like.
But you did it.
We did it.
Yeah.
We did it. And no, before that show, like 2 days before that, it was me, the only one super sick. And I was one of the first one getting sick, like real sick, like throwing up and stuff. And it was like, "Oh, Ramon, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine." And I told my friend Tommy helps me out with the guitar. He's always taking care of me.
Is he like your guitar tech?
Yeah.
Shout out to Tommy, the guitar tech, man.
Well, yeah, and he does all the stage manage.
Oh,
shit. He's the man. And I was like, Tommy, man, please get some Gatorade, something like that for me, and please bring like a cube, something, because if I have to throw up,
you need it right there.
I want it right there.
Oh yeah.
So we did it. I did it. I did the show. It was all right. Everything was good. I finished the show. I was dead. I was like, okay,
after
over.
you're done.
So I called down, go to sleep. I went to my bank, slept for like 2-3 hours, and I remember I went to sleep pretty quick. And I remembered I woke up, and there were still people main lounge on the bus.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
having some drinks or just chilling, cool him down. And I remember I opened the door, and somebody was using the bathroom, and I was like sweating, like I was like cold, hot, you know, and I needed to go just to throw up or whatever. And the last thing that I remember, because like you know we had those tour buses have those doors that they like kind of like close after you and all this stuff.
What you mean, like halfway down the bus
Yeah, yeah.
to section off the bunks,
yeah,
the back
as
room?
soon as I left the
Yeah.
bank section, there was like you know, I was just waiting for the bathroom,
That's the
and I just like lay down a little bit on the door, and I faint.
what?
I totally faint. Last thing I remember is David putting water. And like just like I told him like dude like I saw
Yeah.
you like you were like an angel, you know what I mean? And I was like, and they were like, you know, trying to get me back, and I faint, totally faint, totally faint. You know,
No
just get
shit.
some like, you know, I got some Gatorade and all this stuff. I'm
Yeah.
call it a night, but they were like, man, I thought they were like thinking and called the ambulance,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
you know, and I was the first one. The next day, it was everybody else.
You got
everybody.
They're
It
like,
wasn't. It wasn't
fuck
me.
you, Ramon.
It wasn't me the first one. Was the photographer Jonathan got it first one, and we thought it was like okay, you know, but everybody got it except Jordan.
You know who's Jordan?
Jordan is grandson.
He's grandson,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Oh, okay, sorry. Should
So
have done my
it's-
research.
Yeah, it's all yeah. He was the only one, the only standing, and it's the only one that we need 100%.
Right, you need because
He has to be on.
it's the worst when a singer gets sick. It's so hard to bullshit that,
It
especially if your voice is not holding up. Because I saw Justin Timberlake. I didn't go to his concert. They did like the Hollywood Boulevard concerts that Jimmy
Mhm.
Kimmel does. He was
Yeah.
sick.
It's
and
it's pretty rough. It's
and
pretty rough.
He got like 2 songs in, and he's like,
Yeah.
"I am sorry, guys, I can't."
Yeah,
He's like, "I can't. If I could, I would." He's like, my voice isn't," and we could hear it.
yeah,
And you're like, you know, he's a good singer,
yeah.
but the body was just like, "No, you don't get to," and he was just like, "I have to call it. I have to be done. Like it's just not happening." And so yeah, at least he wasn't sick. Yeah,
Like literally, like we've done like in the past 2 years and a half, like a lot of shows,
Yeah.
like I would
You
say
get-
more than 200 shows,
Oh,
and
yeah.
he's always been delivered like a champ. Like,
no shit.
of course, he had days that they've been sick.
Yeah.
you know,
It happens.
but he's always being on top of it. Like, yeah,
There's also something too, like what I was saying before was like I always have the thing of when I have to do an extra amount of work or shows or whatever, it's so weird too because sometimes I end up playing the best I've ever played.
yeah, right.
You feel like absolute horrible before the show. You're like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And then all of a sudden this like Superman adrenaline kicks in
Yeah,
and you're on point.
and you do it.
And you forget that you're sick. You don't feel like I almost don't feel the symptoms. You don't feel the fever. You don't feel the
Yeah.
scratches. You don't feel anything. It's like gone because you kind of have to deliver. And then the second you're done,
Mm-hmm.
it hits you all again.
Yeah.
And you're like, and your body's like, oh yeah, don't forget, like you're sick. Like
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. So yeah, that's the other thing too. Like you've been out with shit. Yeah, you've been out with grandson for a while because I know every time I see you like you let me know, you let us know, hey, I'm here.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Let's come back. Let's go have a beer.
Or yeah, like we'll be out at the Viper Room or whatever, and then I'll be like, we'll be talking, and then I'm like, hey, well, why don't we do something next week? And you're like, oh, I'm gone again.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
It's-
when you back? And you're like, 2 months from now.
yeah,
And I'm
it's
like,
been like the past 2 years. They've been crazy.
what's okay? Yeah, like
Yeah.
what? Take me back
Okay.
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about grandson.
Yeah.
What's that like been like? How did you get involved with those guys?
So I joined the team, the grandson team, for the first tour that they got.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that was like 2008, the end of 2017.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say 2007. I was like, wow,
The-
you've been
the-
with
the
them for a
end-
while.
The end of 2017. I got this call from David. David is a drummer. I met David.
David
David Remen.
Remen?
David Remen is
Remen? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Drummer, okay.
is a drummer, right? So I met him before doing auditions for different, you know,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
how it
how
go.
it is.
Yeah, yeah.
The funny fact about David and I is like David is originally from Germany. It's German.
Really?
It's
Oh, okay,
German.
okay.
But he grew up in Malaga. Malaga is a city an hour and a half away from my city, Granada, in Spain.
Right. Oh, but it's in Spain. Okay.
It's in Spain.
Oh, no
So
shit,
David is a German. You see, David is a German guy.
Yeah.
It's a like.
But does he sound?
It's like a German guy. Like you type German guy is a photo of David, right? So
Stock photo. Are we talking like blonde hair,
Blonde
blue
hair.
eyes, like the villain in a Bond movie?
blonde hair, blue eyes, skin, German. You know, German.
He's like
German.
that guy's a German guy.
Where
Yeah.
are you from?
In
Germany.
Quentin Tarantino's The German Man,
Yeah.
it's David. Got it.
So I was like, you know, that was like, when I met her first time was probably like 5-6 years ago.
Oh,
And we
okay.
were doing I was doing an audition for somebody else. I don't know with the name of the artist that was doing the audition for. We were in Nightingale, and David was organizing the slot for them. For the audition.
okay.
You know, he was like part of that project, so it was like taking care of all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Even though I have a thick Spanish accent.
Yeah.
6 years ago was even worse.
Was it
Yeah.
really?
Oh, yeah, I mean,
How long have we known each other?
we know each other from almost 10 years, man.
Has it been 10 years?
I've been living in LA
It
for
doesn't
10 years.
feel like it.
We met at MI.
I know. That's what I was here. Forgive me. And
I forgive
people.
you, bro.
All right, hold on. Wait, we can't have inside jokes. Dude, here's the thing. I don't even remember where that came from. I don't remember how that started.
I don't even know, man. I thought
I just know it started, and we've been doing it for like a year or two now. Where
we always forgiving each
you've
other.
always I don't remember.
I remember we were at the Viper Room doing the Sunset Jam. I said it. I don't know why I said it. It was funny.
Was it you who started it?
Yeah, I forgive you. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgive you. I
Yeah.
can't. It was my. And I think
Yeah.
I caught onto it, and I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. Like, I forget who I've known from where and how long and all that stuff because mine, 91-year-old grandmother has a better memory than my memory. It's like I forget shit because I've just always known you and like Dario and Nick.
Yeah.
And like, to name a few other people that I'm forgetting right now. And I go, how long have we been friends? How long have we known? And it's weird that it's like, shit, it's been like 10 years.
We know, I mean, we kind of know each other. Or at least I have an idea of about you back in the day, back at the Musician Institute.
Yeah.
Time.
We went to MI in 2000. I graduated in 2012.
Yeah, I did 2013.
Oh, so you were just a little bit behind me.
I guess I was
Right.
like 6 months.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, we were not like together, but I can you always like we whatever.
We were around. We were in the same circles and
The
stuff like that.
funny
Yeah.
thing was like, and this is funny because like back in the days, 10 years ago, my English was even worse than now. So I wasn't able. I wasn't able to.
Right.
I was able to communicate,
Yeah.
but I wasn't able to be myself.
That's
pretty hard.
Yeah, it would be like me going to a foreign country and nobody speaks English.
Yeah.
And I have to figure out also like with the accent thing, but like it's funny that you say that, like if you feel bad about it or you feel like you can't be yourself. I always feel that way because I feel like, again, sorry to blame Ohio, but everybody talks like this. Everybody's super concise. It's like that.
Yeah.
So when I meet a lot of people from LA who have accents, and not just from like Spain, but like, Italy or
Everywhere.
Australia,
Everywhere.
you get this thing where you're like, I can't understand what they're saying.
I know. Sorry.
No, but you guys do. But do you see what it's like?
Yeah,
A different way
yeah.
it's like a different way of talking and a different way of delivering.
I
don't know
It's accents, I mean, I was feeling like that at the beginning for the first 2 years. For the first 2 years.
Did you have you gone back home lately and people go, "Whoa, your accent's changed"?
That's funny because that happened to me. So now I find myself that I don't speak English, I don't speak Spanish either. You know what I mean? So, So I had that mix of whatever going on.
Now,
Yeah, I go to Spain sometimes.
you're the California Spaniard.
So what's going on with what's going on in your mouth, man? Why you sounding like that? And I was like, really, you really saying that to me right now? Can you see my tears right now?
You're like, I am from Spain, and they're like, no, not anymore. So now you've changed, man. You changed.
Yeah. So back during those times,
back to the.
even though like I was just I probably would say we talk, but I wasn't able just to crack a joke or say be myself.
Yeah. It takes a minute to get the rhythm.
Take a minute, and like a lot of the people that you mentioned, like Nick, you and Alyssa, we became better friends, at least on my end, when we started doing the Sunset Jam.
Yeah.
And that was like 6 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't remember.
That was in 2016, January.
Yeah. So in those 3 years, I bought some time just to improve my English, so be able to be your friend, brother.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So
David.
Okay,
sorry,
so David.
Sorry, folks.
David,
we go off the rails.
Thing, of course, he say, "Hey, Ramon," and I was like, "Hi, how are you?"
Wait, he has that accent. Your accent.
No. He speak great English, but as soon as he heard my voice, he knew that I was from Spain.
Right.
And he switched to Spanish.
Get the fuck
right
out of
away. Here. And he has a accent from the city that he lives in Spain. There's such a peculiar accent.
Really?
It's a peculiar accent that I never heard in California.
Right. You're like an accent where you're like, you're from there.
Yeah, you are from Malaga, and you are from where I like so close from where I grew up, and we are in the middle of Burbank in a random rehearsal space.
You're like, what are the odds?
And this white dude is talking like a guy from Malaga to me in Spanish, and I was like, "Oh man, this is so weird, man." So, we got that connection right away. We started talking. Oh man, where you from? Are you from Granada? Yeah, because he knew that I was from Granada as soon as we switched to Spanish, because I have my accent from Granada is pretty peculiar too.
Right.
So we became such a good friend. So long story short, he was always doing like, auditions and all that stuff. He was calling me, I was, being part of the audition, but never got the gig with him because different things, they were looking for a blonde guy or
that
whatever.
Happened. You've referred me to, I think like last year, it was like 2 gigs.
Yeah, right.
You referred me to something that I didn't get.
That's LA.
And that happens.
That's
like
how
it goes.
You had to do thousands of auditions to get
Yeah,
them.
Nick and I were talking about that same exact thing. And it's because it's auditioning is, I don't know if I've mentioned this on the first episode, but this is one of my, and we've probably talked about this, one of the best things I ever heard in my life. And it happened in 2016. Sorry, and I'll get back to Grandson. I won't go off the rails too far. I was sitting in my apartment, 2016, early in the year, sitting on the couch, and I found this YouTube video, and I can't find it. If anybody else can find it out there, let me know. And it was a audition acting coach.
Okay.
And she goes, "There's a million reasons why you won't get the gig, and they have nothing to do with you."
Oh, yeah.
I heard that, and I was like, and this like weight lifted off of my shoulders.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's how the way they approach everything, all kind of auditions, everything that I'm do is like that. It's like
because you could come in, and let's say you and I were auditioning for a band, like one of us was in the band, and the manager can go. One manager could be like, I like how O'Grady looks different than Ramon. And another manager could be like, I don't like how they look different. Yeah. We need a more similar look. Because it depends on what they're going for. Yeah. And you don't know what they want, and they don't fucking know what they want. Yeah. Anyway,
I don't know. I mean...
But that's how it goes out here. You just kind of roll the dice, and you luck out sometimes. You meet somebody, especially if you can connect.
Yeah.
And you can connect with David and go, oh, we can tolerate each other and hang out. Be on a tour bus that's for a long period of time, because that's a very big important
part.
The
most important part.
Very important.
Doing auditions is great. In my humble experience, doing auditions are good, but because of that, because you expose yourself to other people that are checking you out. You are not the right one for that gig, but you that, and that what happened to me. Yep. With David, I did like a I was part of like 2 or 3 auditions that he was being part of it. David used to, now he's like 100% playing with Grandson.
Oh, but he was doing,
because we like everybody's doing it like that, because we don't really have a lot of like, I mean, I do a lot of things back in LA when I'm back, but I like our main thing, because time is
Oh, yeah.
Grandson, right?
Yeah.
So David back in the days, it was doing, like everybody else, including me, including you, like everybody's just playing with a lot of people, it's all good.
right.
At that point, he was doing, I don't know, it was like so random that I was being part or being getting calls to do auditions for projects or band that he was like
Right.
working with.
Yeah.
And he always telling me, man, like you did a great job, but they're looking for a guy with blonde hair.
Yeah.
Or you did a great job, and but the brother of the bass player is gonna get the gig.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And he told me, man, when I have the power to bring you, I'm gonna bring you out.
Oh, that's nice. That's really sweet.
That's what he did. But I wasn't with Grandson the first time. I was with another artist. He used to play with is called Tyler Rich.
Okay.
Shout out to him. He's an incredible
Shout out to Tyler Ridge.
country guitar player, country artist. That he's doing incredible. I think he's originally from North California, but now he's all located in Nashville. But back in the days, they were like living here in LA, and David used to tour and play a lot with them.
Oh,
right?
okay.
And they needed a guitar player to sub for one of the other guitar players for like a week run or like a 3-4 days.
For Tyler, yeah.
For Tyler. And I was like, yo, what are you doing next week? Because, this is how it always happens. So
Yeah.
always last minute. How are you doing next week? It's like, I don't know. What's up?
Yeah.
So he was like, we had
I've
those
got enough,
shows
yeah.
with Tyler. We're going to do a rehearsal and we're going to go and play. I was like, okay, let's go. They sent me the songs, learn it. Tyler Rich, I still having 2 guitar players.
Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't a lot of. It was.
Yeah.
I spoke with the guitar player. Which solos do I have to take? Well, just tell me how you want to do it. I had a meeting with him at David's place.
Oh, okay.
We went over the parts and we did a rehearsal with all the band, but no Tyler, no singer. So we
Right.
I learned all the parts. Next thing we were doing playing like a big amphitheater, like a big place with him, and I met Tyler 2 hours before the show, and I had a song that was like only by myself with him, like for like the beginning of the song, like typical band,
Yeah.
they use the only guitar. And I'm like, okay, I better don't fuck up now because
Yeah. That's
So everything that first show came great. We did another 2 shows. The shows were good. Everybody was happy. And I think David found out that I was a cool guy to hang out on
right.
the road,
Yeah.
being in a band,
Yeah.
traveling, sleeping, whatever,
Yeah.
So, when the Grandson opportunity they needed like a guitar player to do the tour in
Right.
Canada. The guitar player used to play with them wasn't able to commit
For the
to-
shows
for
and
the-
all
for-
this stuff.
for the touring and all the stuff. Because the funny thing about Grandson is like before that tour, they were doing like, and it's not funny, it's just a fact. What happened was like they were doing like just a few shows there, like
Yeah.
a show here, like it wasn't like
You mean like spot dates?
spot days,
Yeah.
So they went like just to play, I don't know, like a few times per month to, okay, we have a tour, So the
Right.
guy was like, I cannot commit with that, yada, yada. And David was like, what are you doing next week? I was like, I don't know, you tell me.